I'm going to carry on with our book, Oliver Moon and the Spider Spell, Chapter 5. So let's see if they'll catch the spider in this chapter or not. They had reached the centre of Cacklewick by this point, and as they soared in over the shops and the houses, they saw that Horace had clambered up on the roof of the town hall and was weaving more silver ropes of silk. "What's he doing?" the witch baby asked, wide-eyed, as they flew down to land. "He's spinning a web," Oliver replied, watching Horace. All over the town hall. There was a crowd of people gathered in the town square, staring up in horror at Horace as he busily spun his silk from the rooftops. The silk was bound round and round the windows of the top floor of the town hall, and Oliver watched in dismay as people inside the buildings tried to open their windows, but found them completely stuck. "What is that spider monster? Where did it come from?" people were asking nervously. "How can we get rid of it?" The witch baby looked alarmed. "Not get rid of Horace," she cried. "He mine. He harmless." Mr. Moon shouted out, "We just need to find a way of shrinking him, that's all. Don't hurt him." Nobody seemed to be listening in all the kerfuffle. Wands were raised at Horace, and Oliver heard a number of zap and freezing spells being chanted. Sparks and crackles and streams of magic hurtled towards Horace, but he dodged behind the web, missing all of them. Even worse, the magic spells rebounded off the web and started striking innocent witches and wizards down below. See there? Zap! An old witch was stunned and fell over backwards. Luckily, she was caught by a group of other witches just before she hit the ground. Flash! A wizard on a bicycle was frozen to the spot like a statue. Oliver stared in amazement as a bird landed on his head as if it was perched. "Stop your spells!" cried a tall wizard with a long grey beard and a gold chain, dressed in purple robes, who just battled his way out of the town hall. "They are making things worse." "It's the mayor," Mr. Moon whispered. "Let's hope he can sort out this mess." The mayor tapped and stunned Witch and the frozen wizard with a silver wand, and they turned back to normal. Then he stared around at the crowd. "Who is responsible for this creature?" he boomed. Oliver swallowed hard. He began nervously. "He's mine," the witch baby said proudly. "He, Hairy Horace. I make him big." Everyone turned to stare at Oliver's little sister, standing there looking very pleased with herself. "I might have known," came a sarcastic voice from the crowd, and Oliver blushed to see Mrs. Beardbristle glaring at them in disapproval. The mayor didn't seem to have heard her, luckily. "You made him big, did you?" he asked the witch baby. "All on your own?" "We're really sorry," Oliver said, hanging his head. "She used the grow bigger spell, and it was kind of my fault." "Well, it was my fault," Mr. Moon said. "I left them on their own. What a family. They're all as bad as each other," Mrs. Beardbristle muttered. The mayor looked up at Horace and down at the witch baby. "Well, a reverse spell won't work," he said. "Not while he's using that web as a shield. We'll have to give him an antidote. Hold on." And he dashed into a nearby spell supply shop. By now, Horace had spun his spider silk all around the town hall, completely sealing the building. Lots of passers-by had been tangled up in the sticky web and were calling out for some help. "You should be ashamed of yourselves," Mrs. Beardbristle shouted to Mr. Moon, her arms folded across her chest. "Honestly, what a mess. Those children of yours need a good punishment for this." Oliver felt his cheeks smart at her words, but Mr. Moon put a hand on his shoulder. "Just ignore her," he whispered. "Don't listen. It was an accident." "Here," cried the mayor, just then rushing back with a purple pill the size of a dinner plate. "Had to get an extra large just because the spider is so big." He handed it to Mr. Moon. "There, do you think you can persuade that beast to eat it?" Mr. Moon gulped nervously. "I'll give it a go," he replied. "Look after your sister," he told Oliver. Oliver and the witch baby watched as Mr. Moon kicked his broomstick off the ground and zoomed up towards Horace, holding the pill out in front of him. Everyone in the crowd held their breath and watched as Mr. Moon flew nearer and nearer the huge black spider. "Here, Horace," Oliver could hear his dad shouting. "Eat this up, there's a good boy." Horace scuttled back from the pill, looking at it in disgust and shaking his big head. Mr. Moon tried again, flying a little closer, his arm outstretched. "Come on, Horace," he shouted. "It's delicious. Just give it a try." But Horace wasn't having any of it. He just scurried further away on the roof, making a leap to the next building along. There was a groan of disappointment from the crowd. "He's not falling for that one," Oliver heard someone sigh. "Horace, he says yuck." the witch baby commented, watching. Oliver nodded. Just like you and your vitamins, he said. And then he had an idea. Hey, he cried, that's it. That's it. That's the answer. I'll read the next chapter next time, and that shall be the end. Hope you're enjoying the story. Speak to you soon.